Hello guys, welcome back. Now today, we're going to be going for the Dallas Stars prospect pool and evaluating how good it actually is. Now the Dallas Stars have a really interesting prospect pool. Yes, you have the elite prospect in Miro Heiskanen, but you got a lot of other players that can make big NHL contributions. Now I'm going to go through the best Dallas Stars prospect and then we'll talk about some of the minor ones, but we'll go into full detail about the best ones. You have to talk about Miro Heiskanen. Of course, at age 19, I'd say he's a grade A prospect if there's anybody. To me, I'd say he's borderline top 5 prospect in the NHL right now, and possibly top 3 defensive prospect in the NHL. He has shown so much talent, and where he's played, it's just phenomenal. Now, I've already talked about his stats tons before, but let's just go through it. Of course, he was drafted 3rd overall, 2016 draft. In the league of this season, played in the 17-18 season, he played 30 games, had 11 goals, 12 assists for 23 points, and of course, as a 18-year-old in a league that's already pretty hard to score in, that was amazing numbers, and then you realize that he's a defenseman as well, and you see how good he really became there. Miro Heiskanen can definitely make the team next season, the 2018-2019 season. I feel like he'll definitely impress in training camp, and he'll give the Dallas Stars no choice but to put him in the roster every single day and to give him playing time. And I feel like he won't have a Calder-type season, but a very, very solid one and a great transitioning year to the next season where I think he's going to blast off offensively. Next up, I got Roope Hintz, who is one of the more interesting guys in the prospect pool. At age 21, the left winger, drafted 49th overall in the 2015 draft, and he had an explosive year in the AHL. He played 70 games, had 20 goals, 15 assists for 35 points. That's pretty good for a 21-year-old, and he shows a lot of potential. Again, drafted in the second round, he already had that potential, but he's been growing steadily in the Liga. He's been playing well there in the World Junior Championships. He's been playing all good in the last couple of years, and he's slowly made his way to the AHL, where he's played very, very good both in the playoffs and the regular season. And while those offensive numbers are very, very good as well, the defense is also a strong suit for him. I'm pretty sure he used to be a center in his draft year, and a lot of the things that were going towards him were his defense, and he still has that as a left winger right now. He has that still, and the defensive game for him is still very, very solid. I feel like that will definitely transition to the NHL. I feel like he could opportunely get a 4th line spot in the NHL next season if he really works hard, if he really impresses in training camp. It's a slim chance, but I still think Roope Hintz can make it. And honestly, I'd much rather have Roope Hintz over there than Remi Elie or some other player on the Dallas Stars. I feel like he has a lot of potential, and the NHL next season, I feel like he could definitely perform if he got that chance. Next up, you got Ty Dellandrea, the center, of course, drafted 13 overall in this past draft, the 2018 NHL draft. And at age 18, he's already making some impressions. In the OHL this season with the Flint Firebirds, he played 67 games at 27 goals, 32 assists for 59 points. All of those led his team, and all of those were the best on his team and have been for a while. He's been one of the better. I think he was the highest picked Flint Firebird of all time, and he's definitely making records over there in the OHL. In the World Junior Championships, he played 5 games, had 5 points, and for me, he's a bit of a project, better of a project than some other guys that were picked around him. For me, I see him getting around the NHL level at the 2020-21 season or the 2021-22 season. I feel like it's going to be around there. He's a bit of a project, again, kind of like a Riley Tufte, who we'll mention later in the video, but he's a little bit of a project. He'll take a little bit longer than some of the other guys. Remember, he was projected around that 25th pick. He was projected to be pretty late in the first round. Of course, the Stars jumped up and picked him there, and whether that's a good idea or not, we'll get into that at a later date. But right now, he's a bit of a project, a lot better of a project than some other guys, and he has that potential to be a good second-line guy, to be a good, solid NHL player. But for right now, I don't see him being in the NHL anytime soon. To me, he'll work his way up for the OHL, then the AHL, and then he'll get his NHL chance, but that's going to be a little bit farther away than some other guys that we'll mention on the list. Next up, you got Jake Onger, of course, the goalie that was selected 26th overall in the 2016 draft. At age 19, he's still relatively young, and with Onger, he had a really, really good, solid draft year in the NCAA. He fell off a little bit due to injury, due to inconsistency, and his team overall not being as good as it once was. In the 17-18 season, he played 38 games, had a 2.45 goals against average, and a 9.15 save percentage, and he dropped off quite a bit from his last season in his draft year. In the World Junior Championships, he played 3 games, had a 2.77 goals against average, and a .889 save percentage, and he wasn't great in that and play in those World Junior Championships, but the team around him wasn't that great defensively as well. But Onger, there's no excuse. He played a lot worse than he did in his draft year, but I don't feel like there's all hope is lost for him. He still has a ton of potential and has potential to be an NHL starter. For me, Jake Onger still has good NHL starter potential, and it could definitely fill out with the Dallas Stars after Ben Bishop is done. And I feel like he'll be NHL back for a couple of years, and then we'll transition to that. To me, I feel like he'll get that NHL chance in the 2020-2021 season when, Ben Bishop is getting a little bit older, and they need some youth to rise. And we'll see Jake Onger get a lot better, and maybe he transitions to the AHL, plays good there, and hopefully he gets the opportunity and becomes a good starter there. And while some people may think that Jake Onger is a lost cause already, at age 19, he's still very, very young and could still blossom into a great starter. I don't have all hope. I haven't lost all hope in him. I still think that he has great, great potential and could still fulfill that first round potential. Next, you have Riley Tufte, another guy in the NCAA this season. He is an age 20 left winger who was drafted 25th overall in the 2016 draft. In the NCAA this season, he had 42 games played, 16 goals, 13 assists for 29 points, and I'm pretty sure he won the championship with Minnesota Duluth. So he got some championship rings with him as well. For me, in the World Junior Championships, he played 7 games, had 3 assists, but I feel like, again, like I mentioned with Tyler Andrew, he's a bit of a project. For me, I see him transitioning to the AHL in a couple of years, but I don't see him being NHL ready until he's like 22, 23 at the earliest. I see this kind of player, Riley Tufte, being a guy that will take a little bit longer than some other guys. For me, he could be ready by the 2021-22 season, but I feel like it'll be around there. He'll have to take some time, and he's that kind of player where he has a lot of raw talent, but he has to get a lot better and transition and progress. For me, he's going to take a while, so I don't expect him to be ready anytime soon. And yes, while it's not the greatest that he's taken that long, and it's not the greatest that he will take that long, I feel like once he gets that chance, and once he is NHL ready, he'll be a very, very solid, possibly top 6 type guy, and I feel like he can fulfill that potential. He's the type of player, though, that takes a little bit longer than some others. The winger that has that raw talent, but needs to be a lot better, needs to progress, and needs to become a better NHL player. He will get that chance. I think that he does have that talent, but he'll take a little bit longer than the other guys, so I'm going to be patient with him. Hopefully other people will too. Now there's some other players on this list that I could mention. There's a lot of other solid players that I could go into full depth into, but I'm just going to name them now. You got Jason Robertson, you got Dennis Gurianov, you got your Sharon, you got your Erickson, you got your Kamano. There's a lot of guys that were drafted in the past couple of years that are playing very well, they were drafted late. So there's a lot of guys that could transition into solid NHL guys that I won't mention on this list due to really time constraints. But back to the question at hand, how good is the Dallas Stars prospect system, and how does it compare to a lot of other NHL teams? And as I said before, you got that one A-grade prospect in Miro Heiskanen, but you got a lot of other solid players in the system right now that could transition into solid NHL players. And while, to me, I don't see the Dallas Stars system as a top 10 system. They have a lot of solid prospects, but I don't think they compare to a lot of other teams when it comes to very, very good prospects. But at the same time, I don't see them as a bottom 10 prospect list because, of course, they got Miro Heiskanen, but they got a lot of other solid players as well that they've been developing and drafting over the last couple of years. So to me, I'd put them in that mucky middle of NHL team prospect pool where you're in that middle and you're not bad, but you're not great at, in the prospect pool. For me, I'd put them at that 10 to 15 range when it comes to prospect pools in the NHL. I feel like they're a good team when it comes to the prospects that they've compiled over the last couple of years, but it's not great. It's not where it probably should be. Riley Tufte, probably should have taken a little bit, probably should look a little bit better, same as Jake Onger. Some guys have not really performed quite like they probably should have after their draft years, and that's a little bit concerning, especially like guys like Dennis Gurianov, who are getting a little bit older here, but they have still some good players that could transition into great NHL players, but it's not elite level like some other teams. And while the Dallas Stars have some good hope for the future and some solid players that can transition to great players, Miro Heiskanen is the only one that really will turn into a star, in my opinion, and a guy that really will be an elite guy. Miro Heiskanen is pretty much the sure bet of the prospect pool, and one of the sure bets in the NHL to have a solid career. But after that, there's not a lot of great prospects. You just have a lot of solid players, which could be for good, better or worse, but you have a lot of solid guys that could be, depth guys for you, which is not bad, but you think you want to have a little bit better than that. Again, the Dallas Stars prospect pool is not bad at all. I just don't think that it's fantastic. I feel like, since we've missed the couple of playoffs, since we've missed a couple of years, and I drafted a little bit higher than some other teams, I feel like we should have a better prospect pool than this, but it's about, developments, it's about what happens there. So for me, the Dallas Stars have a good prospect pool. It's not fantastic. It probably shouldn't be where it should be, but for the Dallas Stars, they have some solid future guys with this, and with the prospect pool, they have some solid players. I don't think it's elite level, but they're going to have some guys that turn out. And to me, when I say how good is the Dallas Stars prospect pool, I'd say it's pretty good. Not great, but it's pretty good. It's solid, and you have a lot of solid players that could be solid NHL players. It's just not greatness. Probably where it should be. So again, when you stack the Dallas Stars prospect pool against other teams, it might be a little bit lower, it might be a little bit higher. To me, it's a solid prospect pool. It's not a great prospect pool. You won't see a lot of superstars coming out of this prospect pool. But for right now, there's a lot of guys I could see being solid NHL players in the future, and a lot of guys I could see having good careers. So that's going for today, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe. Tell me below what you think of the Dallas Stars prospect pool. Who's your favorite prospect? Who do you think will turn out? And what do you think of the prospect pool overall? We'll see you guys later. Goodbye.